Few people realize it, but there's a small group of horses that live such a refined life that they even fly on private jets. And not just any jet. These are huge aircraft turned into real flying stables, built so each horse can travel calm, safe, and without stress. Among all these special planes, one has basically become a legend in the racing world, the famous Air Horse One. The name plays off the American presidential aircraft, but its mission is completely different. The company that operates it took a Boeing 727 and rebuilt the entire inside. Instead of seats, they installed padded stalls, firm non-slip flooring, and dividers that adjust to each horse's size. It's like they built a little piece of a breeding farm inside a jet. The idea is simple. Keep the animals standing, relaxed, and comfortable from takeoff to landing. Usually around 20 horses board, but that depends on configuration. Some fly in a double suite with extra space just for them, which reduces the total number on board but boosts comfort. And the care they get? It's true first-class treatment. The jet always travels with vets and handlers who stay right beside the animals. They monitor breathing, hydration, temperature, everything in real time. During the flight, the horses get water, hay, and constant attention. Even the pilot adapts the flight, making smooth takeoffs and landings with no sharp turns so no one gets startled. Lighting and noise are also adjusted to keep the cabin calm. Of course, all that luxury comes with a price. A domestic flight in the United States can cost several $1,000s per horse, and international trips are even higher. But for owners whose animals are worth a fortune in genetics and prizes, it's an investment. By land, the trip would take much longer, risk fatigue, and hurt performance. By air, in just a few hours the horse arrives rested and ready to compete. And this whole story goes far beyond Air Horse One. Many people don't realize that there are massive aircraft, the size of buildings, prepared specifically to move horses around the world. The adapted Boeing 747s are true airborne complexes. They can carry nearly 100 horses in one flight, all placed in modules that slide along cargo bay rails. It's impressive engineering. Each stall becomes a reinforced but comfortable crate where the horse can stand, breathe well, and travel safely. These structures appear at the biggest events on the planet: Olympics, global championships, and famous races. When a major event starts, it's not just passenger planes landing. It's a whole airborne caravan full of horses from every corner of the world. The logistics are so huge they look like the arrival of an entire sports team multiplied many times over. And on these giant flights, everything follows a strict routine. Nothing is improvised. Handlers fly along, vets too, and each horse goes through several steps before boarding. They enter quarantine, take exams, have all health documents updated, and even receive the well-known equine passport, which works just like a human passport but with vaccination records, tests, origin, and more. It's wild to think that some horses travel with more paperwork than many people. And all of this reveals a part of aviation most travelers never notice. Every flight requires teams adjusting cabin conditions, planning routes, and preparing airports to handle animals instead of normal cargo, all to ensure each horse arrives calm and healthy. It's a careful routine involving pilots, ground crews, and specialists who treat each trip with the same attention given to elite athletes. During a flight, horses are almost never sedated. That only happens as a last resort because sedation can throw off their balance or even create new risks. So the crew prefers to keep an eye on everything the entire time: breathing, hydration, and even the way each horse reacts to the cabin. The big concern is avoiding what trainers call shipping fever, a kind of travel-related sickness brought on by stress. Any small change in behavior is enough to put the whole team on alert. And when the horse being transported is a valuable one, there's no rushing anything. It becomes a full operation. The route is planned with care, the temperature inside the aircraft is adjusted, the pre-flight meal is kept light, and the handlers stay focused on every little detail. Everything has to go perfectly because a single mistake can turn into a massive loss. In many cases, the price of one horse is higher than the airplane carrying it. There have even been tense moments. In 2023, An incident made headlines worldwide after a huge cargo jet had to turn back right after takeoff because one of the horses panicked and tried to climb out of its stall. You can imagine the kind of chaos that creates inside a plane. To land safely, the captain had to dump fuel in the air to reduce weight and bring the aircraft down without risk. The situation was stressful and became a reminder of how important it is to have trained crews and aircraft specifically prepared for this kind of transport. That's where the legendary Air Horse One comes in, acting almost like a VIP jet in the world of American racehorses. Famous breeders, competitors, and major farms use it constantly to move their animals from one event to the next in very little time. Some people even joke and call it horse business class, and honestly, they're not wrong. The level of comfort and attention inside that aircraft is something many travelers would love to have on long flights. But there's a curious detail behind the name. Air Horse One became so well known that people started using it as a nickname for any plane that carries horses. The real name, though, belongs only to the jet operated by Texaton. There have even been mistakes in news reports during some Olympic Games. For example, several outlets claimed the horses arrived on Air Horse One, when in reality, they came on the giant 747 cargo jets run by international transport companies. These companies handle operations on a massive scale. They build the stalls, set schedules, prepare teams, manage quarantine requirements, and take care of dozens of horses flying from one continent to another. It's a huge effort that involves veterinarians, specialists in animal behavior, and crews trained to understand that every horse reacts to flying in a different way. And even though Air Horse One never comes to Brazil, this kind of air transport happens here far more often than people think. Many Brazilian breeders send and receive horses around the world all year long. Well-known breeds like the Manga Larga Marchador, the Quarter Horse, and the Thoroughbred are constantly boarding special flights to compete in major events, attend high-value auctions, or take part in breeding programs in other countries. It sounds like something distant, but for those working at the top level of the equine market, it's just part of the routine. And there's a very simple reason behind all of this: time. A trip on the road could take days or even weeks, while by air the horse arrives in just a few hours, without stress, without physical wear, and without losing the performance it needs. In high-level competitions, the smallest detail matters. Even a single rough night of rest can change the result. That's why flying becomes the obvious choice for anyone who works with elite animals. Brazilian breeders also pay close attention to genetics. Sometimes a top stallion flies out just to cover mares in another country and returns right after. In other cases, it's the mare that travels while pregnant, with an entire team watching every step of the process, from the medical exams all the way to the flight back home. It becomes a true team effort involving vets, handlers, and transport specialists working together. And there's another key point: safety. The aircraft that operate in Brazil are built for this kind of mission. They carry reinforced stalls, ideal ventilation, and non-stop monitoring during the flight. The flight crew follows specific procedures to take off and land as smoothly as possible, and the handlers stay alert to every move the animal makes. The goal is simple. The horse must step off the plane as if it had just left its stall, calm, steady, and ready to do what it was trained to do. In the end, air transport has become an essential tool for anyone dealing with high-value horses. And even without Air Horse One landing here, Brazil is fully connected to that world, sending our genetics abroad and bringing back some of the most valuable animals on the planet. If you stayed with me until now, it's probably because the topic caught your attention. So do me that huge favor that helps more than you imagine. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments what you thought about this story. And hey, if this whole thing about planes carrying horses surprised you, there's another video on your screen right now that you're really going to enjoy. 25 horses from Brazil were sent by plane for this reason. Go ahead and click it because it's really good. Thanks a lot for the company, and I'll see you in the next video.